there is this whole issue of innovation in this domain. For example, when I was doing these case studies, I came across some producer companies which brought new crops to certain areas, like banana in Uttar Pradesh, or doing innovation in terms of product variety or quality. For example, you are doing in cotton, converting to organic instead of conventional. That can be called process innovation also, not just product innovation, because you're doing it differently right from growing. Have you tried some of this, bringing new crops to your areas of the producer companies, and has it been worthwhile or not?
Not the new crop, because introducing a new crop is a huge challenge. But we try to do in situ value addition by converting into organic or non-pesticides, because there we also found that we have less competition in those areas.
Okay.
If I can develop an organic production cluster or non-pesticide production cluster, then I am creating a kind of a niche.
You are differentiating from others. Yeah.
So my competition is little less. And this is one area we are actually, ASA is actively working in developing niche production system, whether it is organic, non-pesticides. Some people are calling it a sustainable production system, some are calling it, that ASA has its own production system code, we call it Responsible Crop Initiative, RCI, or Zimmedar Kheti we call it, which has a pillars of good agronomic practices, good environmental practices, and good social practices. And we have developed our own code, and under that code, we develop organic, non-pesticides, and responsible crops. The future market, the future agriculture market is actually growing towards that direction. It may be looking small at the moment, but the way the sustainability debate is going around the agriculture production, the way there is a kind of a pressure on the corporates to become carbon neutral, the way the ESG reporting is becoming important, you will see a movement towards that direction. And that is what I was trying to say, the supply chain will be little different. Direct to growers is the new concept emerging.
No, I asked this question because even if you look at the government intention of doubling farmers' income, if you have a wheat and paddy growing area, how much you can manipulate there to make farmers earn more from that kind of?
No, suppose in a paddy growing area.
Yeah, one crop is paddy, another crop is wheat, both I call them low value crops.
Okay, but then low value crop, but then from the farmer's point of view, there is a great economics.
No, when we are talking about small and marginal farmers, 2 acre, 3 acre, 5 acre.
It's a little digression, but I can tell you that a 2 acre farmer having 20 quintals of paddy from 2 acres, getting 20 rupees, 2,000 rupees a quintal,
yes,
right? 40,000 rupees, right?
Yeah.
You tell me in 2 acres area, which other crop will give you that 40,000 rupees in a kharif season? Number one, a paddy field cannot be converted into a soybean field. It will not work.
Okay.
A paddy field is meant for paddy.
No, for example, you can bring crops like vegetables there.
But when vegetables growing 2 acres vegetables, it will become a kind of a 50 tons of vegetables. Where do you sell? Is there a market?
No, but that's what producer company is supposed to do. No, you are supposed to bring markets to farmers.
The point here is that everybody talks about vegetables. A small plot of vegetables will give you so much of production. Where do you sell? You need to have market. And if your for the vegetables, your market is not within 100 kilometers radius, then you are running into a huge risk. We are seeing.
No, but that's what I thought when you were saying about building market linkages through different institutional arrangements, whether to selling to processors or retail supermarkets or exports or differentiating it, doing off-season, in-season kind of thing.
Coming back to the discussion of that, farmers growing vegetable and connecting with the market, the limited point I have, that not all farmers will grow vegetables, because vegetable farming requires a specialized skill. It is very labor intensive. It is also costly in terms of the treatment that you have to do to the soil.
Investments required.
Investment requirement is higher, right? And that apart, it's a market issue. If you see all barring few vegetables, let's say if you are talking about tomato or some special vegetables, most of the vegetables that is served to an urban area is grown within the 50 to 100 kilometers radius.
True.
Including our metros. Now, growing vegetables in the hinterland in a mass scale and considering that that will reach to an urban market and fetch the price, a good price for the farmer, is little far-fetched in my understanding. Otherwise, everybody would have started doing that.
Okay.
I mean, today if you see a variety of, let's say, hybrid rice, it was bounced in the market and it became overnight a successful kind of a variety, right? Or even the BT cotton. Reason being that these are the crops where farmers can grow, get a bumper production and hold it at home and sell it at, because it's not perishable.
They are not perishable.
They are not perishable.
Semi-perishable, whatever, yeah.
On the vegetables and fruits, tissue culture in banana and other crops is a real innovation. But we haven't seen that it's being grown everywhere, because this market risk, perishability risks, all these are being considered by the farmers, and farmers are also burning their hand. Many big farmers, they have tried to, gone into it, and they suddenly found that, some big farmers have done that. Somewhere they have grown the grapes and all and found that there is a market.
That's not everybody's cup of tea. Yeah.
That's not everybody's cup of tea. We have to understand that.
See, I think we have examined the issues of what kind of business model can be created for producer companies, or what kind of value chain interventions one can think of, and the overall sort of management of such entities. But other, I think, important issue which I have recently written about and which also many people point out is this whole governance. And when we talk about governance of such entities, there is this talk about NDDB's milk producer companies model, where they have created what they call innovative governance system, where they have certain principles of governing this entity. For example, they say that we will deal only with members in terms of transactions. Second, they say that if you have a known political background, you will not be eligible to become a board member. They also have categories of membership in terms of how much patronage you bring to the producer company. So you think that is also required to be sort of tailored in a producer company to make it work?
Well, I can tell only from our experience, because these are some of the questions we probably still don't know how it is going to evolve. But from our own experience, I can tell you that what we have tried to do is on the governance part, that through our facilitation we tried to engage with the key members of the producer company. They are basically board of directors, those 7, 10, 11 people. By way of engaging with them, definitely formally on a monthly basis. Some members are interested in business, they have some natural kind of passion to do it, so they are more involved. We try to create opportunities for them in terms of not exactly incentivizing or any kind of privileges, but giving them space in the decision making, all those creating space, kind of. So that is one way.
But are these board members ever involved in management of the producer company?
Management in a sense, governance, yes.
No, not governance, management, that doing marketing function or HR function.
Very rarely. This is something which is being done by the professionals.
Okay.
This is by the professional, and I'll come to that part as well. So that is one part, that engaging with the key members of the producer companies and using their influence in their respective villages with their members in terms of reaching out, telling what the producer company, what is happening in the producer company. And the B is that the annual general body meeting, we do it very religiously. We plan for it. For months we prepare ourselves to have a very transparent, very rigorous AGM with a maximum participation of the members, where everything is like, we call it a celebration actually. Okay. We do it in a celebration, a month long, Entire August and September is our producer companies AGMs, and where people are given responsibilities being the observer. So people come from this side to other side. We do it in a very, very transparent manner. And we have seen that this is one mechanism through which we actually percolate a lot of things down up to the last mile. We also have our other community institutions like self-help groups, etc., through which also messages. But most importantly, we have seen when the producer company is in business, suppose they are procuring things at a village level, or they are announcing a price for a particular commodity for which they are going to make the procurement, the message spread. The message spread. I mean, even in the far-flung villages also people know that producer company is buying.
These leaders.
Yeah, leaders, the information goes up to that level.